What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to query our database for our CRM tool with Tkinter and Python. All right, so we've been building out this CRM tool for our customer database. In this video, we're going to query the database and put the results up on the screen in the actual graphical user interface itself, not on the command line like we've been doing. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $27, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so this is what we got so far. I went ahead and put another record in. I just made up some data and clicked add to customer to database. And so now when we exit this out, we look at our terminal, we can see it prints onto the screen these two records. This is the one we had earlier, and this is the new one that I put in just now off camera. So this is not great. We don't want this graphical or terminal. We don't want this terminal thing showing up. We want this information to be in our actual program to show graphically on the screen. So we're going to start to work on doing that in this video. So let's see. Let's pull up our code up until now. And let's come down here to the button section and let's create a new button. Where's our buttons? All the way down here. Create buttons. So let's say list customers button. I don't know. And let's go list underscore customers underscore button. And that's going to equal a button. And we want to point this, or we want this to be in our root. We want the text to be list customers. I don't know, right? Now we're going to have a command for this in just a bit, but let's just go ahead and actually create this button first. So let's go list underscore customers underscore button dot grid. And we want this to be in, let's see, row, looks like row 14 is where we're at now. So let's go ahead and go row equals 15. And we want this to be column equals 0. And let's see, what else do we want? We probably want to sticky this to the west side. And let's give this a pad X of 10 so it lines up with our other buttons. So let's go ahead and save this and just run it real quick to make sure this is looking good. Okay, so list customer, we click it, nothing happens, but we've got the button. So, okay, so now I think when we click this button, we want a whole other window to pop up. We don't want to, this is getting kind of crowded in here. Let's just build another window. So that's what we'll do now. So let's pull up our code and let's give this a command. Let's go command equal, what do we want to call this? List underscore customers. Okay, so now we need to actually create this function, this list customers function. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to come up to the top here. I usually like to put my functions, towards the top of program. So where are we at? Let's do it right here. Let's go list customers. Yeah, that'll work. So we want to define list customers. Okay, so now the first thing we want to do is create a new window, right? And we've done this in the past, a couple months ago, when we showed you how to, create other windows. And to do that, let's go list underscore customer query, I guess. We're going to query the database, right? So this is going to be capital T underscore K. We want to create a new TK sort of instance, right? So now we can go list customer query dot title. And let's call this list all customers. And you'll notice I'm just pulling these things, all of this stuff we're about to do from up here. We're just sort of redoing this stuff. In fact, we can just copy both of these, bring them down here, and paste them in. And instead of root, of course, we want this to be list customer query. Same thing here, list customer query. And 400 by 600, we need this to be bigger because we're putting all our data on the screen. So let's call this 800, oops, need quotation marks, 800 by 600. Okay, so that should work. So let's just save this and run it real quick to make sure that that worked. So let's see if we click the button. this other window pops up, and it's pretty good size, and it says list customers at the top, and it has our little icon here. Okay, so far so good. So next we need to query the database, essentially just do this stuff right here, right? So we've already got code for that. We can just come down to the bottom of our program, and just right here, this my cursor execute stuff that we did probably in the last video or the video before that, this is where we're getting this stuff right here, right? So let's just look at this real quick. What we're doing here is we're creating a cursor and we're executing a SQL command, and the command is select everything from our customers table. And then we want to slap that into a variable called result. And to do that, we just go mycursor.fetchAll. We're fetching all of the stuff out of our database, right? And then we just want to loop through all that stuff and print it all onto the screen. So for X in results, print X. So I'm just going to copy all of this, and we can get rid of that there. And let's just come back up to our new little function we just built. And let's create a comment that says query the database. Let's just paste all this in. I need a tab. Okay, now obviously we can't just print X. We need to create a label, right? So let's call this, I don't know, lookup underscore label. And that's a label. And where do we want this? Well, normally we put it in root, but we're not working with root right now. We're working with the list customer query window, right? So that's where we want this. And we want the text to equal X. Now we need to put this on the screen. So instead of print X, we can just look up label. Let's just pack this onto the screen for now just to see what we got. Okay, so let's save this and run it and see. Indentation error. Let's see. What did I do? Oops, there we go. Yeah. All right, so that's right now. All right, so let's try it again, run it. So here's our main window. We click this, boom, this pops up. And here we have our two records. So John Elder, and you'll notice how this is laid out. John Elder, zip code, price. This is the ID, this is the email address. Why is it in this order? It's kind of a weird order. Well, if we look at our original, when we created the database, that's the order we did. So we started with first name, last name, zip code, price paid, user ID. So it's just using that order right now. It's kind of a weird order. We should have probably put it in a better order, but it doesn't really matter. We can spit this stuff out on the screen in any way we want. This is just the default. It's just putting in the default order that your database is built as, right? So we'll look at that in just a minute, but just kind of look at this here. And this is kind of weird. This looks like a Python dictionary. I'm not sure why there's squiggly brackets on some things and some things don't. We'll see how to get rid of those in just a second. This is just a very generic way to throw stuff up on the screen. And this is obviously not how we want this to end. You know, this is not the final output we want here. This is just a very quick way to show you how to spit this stuff out onto the screen. So, okay, we're starting to see some stuff, but this is not that interesting. So let's close this. And let's play around with this a little bit. Let's head back down here. Where did we go? So we're just printing out X, and each row in our GUI here is just a row in our database. But you can access each individual fields in our database just by using a Python list. And lists start at 0. So the 0th item in our database is the first name. So if we save this and run it, it's kind of interesting. And list our customers. Now we just get John and Tim, right? So you can go through here and do however, lay this out any way you want. And by that, I mean, you can come here and you can go text, and then you can concatenate a field here, and then you can go X1, and then we need to concatenate again, first name, last name. And then you could just come through here, and for each one of these fields, so this is the 0th field, first, second, third, fourth. So if we want the email, so that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like, the 5th one. So let's put that in too. First name, last name, and email. Plus a space, plus X, what do we say, 5? All right, so let's save this and run it and see what this looks like. Pull this up, click the button, and we get John Elder and then the thing. Now, obviously, you could create a label on top of this for like headers. You could put, first name, email, whatever you wanted to put on the screen. You could do it that way. So that's one way you could do it. Let's do another way real quick. We're using pack here. Let's do some grid stuff because this can get a little bit interesting. So instead of, let's get rid of all of this. Let's just go back to spitting it all out onto the screen. And instead of packing, let's go grid. And we want row to be something and column to be something. But what do we want it to be? Well, let's change our for loop here a little bit. So instead of just looping through our results, let's get an index number for each item we pull out. So let's go index. So we want to pull out index and X from results, but we don't want to pull it from results. We want to pull it from enumerate result. And what this will do is it will create a number, enumerate it, and put that number in the index. So the first item it pulls out will be the 0th item, and then the first item, second item, or maybe it will pull out 1 first. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It will number them, right? So inside of here, then, we can use this number. So we can pull out, we want to put it in row index and column. What do we want? We have to actually create a column. So let's create a number. Let's just call it num, set it equal to 0. And then here, let's just go num. And then inside of here, we want to go num plus equals 1. So every time it loops through here, it will add 1 to num. And then the next time, the column number will be 1 bigger. So we'll put each item over. Well, okay, we're getting there. Now what this will do though, is this is going to put each row from our database up on the screen. And we don't want to do each row. We want to do each column of each row. So we can do that by creating another if loop, another for loop inside of this for loop. So let's go for, what do we call it? Let's call it y in x. So now we're looping through x, right? So our original thing is result. We're looping through result and we're creating x. Now we're looping through x, which is each row of our data, and we're pulling out y, which is going to be each column of our data. So for y in x, let's print out y, and let's see. I think the rest works. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's save this, and we might look at this code again because I went over that kind of fast. So, all right, we've got our program, list customers. Boom, now it's putting them one after another, so we don't necessarily want that. What did we do wrong there? Look at our code. I think I know. The num is in the wrong spot. Yeah, we need to put this num inside of this first loop like that. All right, that'll fix it, I think. Yeah, it should. All right, so let's take a look at this one more time. List customers, there we go. And now we have, you can see each item is in a very specific column, right? So first name, last name, zip code, price paid, user ID, email, address 1, address 2. You notice this record doesn't have an address 2 because I didn't have one. City, state, country, phone number, payment method, coupon code, right? And again, this is just spitting them out just in the way that they're in the database, in the order that they're in. So first name, last name, zip code, because again, that's how we stupidly did our database. First name, last name, zip code, right? Price paid, user ID, price paid, user ID. Then we drop down email, address 1, address 2, email, address 1, address 2, etc., etc. So again, you could loop through here in another way. And like we did just a second ago where we listed each item, the 0th item, the first item, etc. It becomes a little bit more complicated, but you can play around with this. There's just a zillion different ways to do this. So again, let's look through this real quick. We're creating an enumerated for loop. and that just pulls our database results. And for each row in our database, it enumerates, it gives it an index number, and we use that number to tell it which row. So the first row is the first item in our database. Then the next row down will be the next item in our database as enumerated by this little index guy. So that's that. Then we're creating a number, setting it equal to 0, and then every time we loop through, we just add 1 to that number, and that becomes the next column over, right? And so that's how that works. And then the rest of this, we're just spitting out the text of y, which we've created here, and then gridding it up onto the screen. So fairly, not that complicated, a little bit complicated, but not too bad. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So, okay, let's do this again, look at it. This is kind of very sloppy and maybe not that useful, but this video is getting pretty long already, so I think we'll stop it right here. In the next video, we'll kind of start to think through how we want this to actually look. And here we're just listing all customers. Maybe that's not that useful. Maybe we want to be able to look up specific customers based on their name or their ID or their email address or whatever. So we'll start to look at that and things like that in the next couple of videos or so. And that should be a lot of fun. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. You pay just $27 to access all my courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 60,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and we'll see you in the next video.